What's up, man?
Hey, we're live. Okay, I'm trying to look over here
Yeah.
on YouTube and see where we're at. Well, good morning.
Good afternoon. Good evening. Good
Good evening to
yesterday.
you. Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. Hope you're doing great, man. And I hope
Yeah, man.
everybody out there is doing great. Um, got a bunch of stuff to talk about today, I believe. But first,
Yeah.
as always, if you're considering doing something bad to yourself, just know that we care, that you do make a difference. We need you in the fight, and you know we we don't want to go on without you. So what we need you to do is, if you ever feel like that, make sure you know you can call 988 option one. They're always there 24/7. Okay. And if you don't want to talk to somebody, like that you don't know, or somebody that, you're not comfortable with, you can get in touch with us if you're comfortable talking with us. You can get us at gearheadsandguardians@gmail.com. Get with us. I check that email every day, if not every day, every other day. Okay. I mean, life happens sometimes, you know, but it does get checked. So if there's any, thing you want to talk about or anything like that, email us. We'll get with you. All right. And that's our promise to you right here. Gearheads and Guardians. We'll be there for you. So tell us, big dog, what are we talking about this evening?
Well, it, it was kind of hard to think of a good. We
No.
There was a ton to talk about, but after last week, man, with Dr. Emily being on and giving us a plethora of doctor knowledge and uh, true terminology about how
Right.
CBD works with
Right.
the body. Um, just when you thought it was good, then they just came out with a new product day
Another new.
before yesterday. Another new product, um, uh,
I was trying to find it.
a Kai. It's called a Kai. I believe that's how you say it. And it's a fruit. Um, I'm waiting for it to pull up right
Oh,
now. They
that's what I'm
just and it's actually it's not from the United States actually. Uh, and so this is something that uh, this is something that they've been talking about for some time. I had seen it on um, the
doing.
the website as coming products, and they had been talking about it for a while. And acai berry,
Amalaki.
amalaki. Thank you. If I graduated the eighth grade, I'd probably been able to pronounce that.
Hey, I won't only make the seventh and a half.
Yeah, right.
I'm a better
Um,
half a school teacher, remember.
so right now, they they made it. It's in a powder form right now. Um, but they
Is that
are, I believe. Well, they have. I'm sorry, they have the powder as an ambassador. Uh,
mm-hmm.
if you become an ambassador, they have it in the powder form, but they do sell it in the drink form. It's in a bottle. It's 25 uh, servings per bottle, and we'll we'll pull it up here. There it is. Thank you. I'm glad you beat me to it. But and the amalaki fruit, um, it's to me it's like one of those mystical fruits out there that is kind of like the edge where the root is only found in a very small area in the world, right? Um, and I'm going to try this stuff. It
Oh
the
wow, it's good for digestion.
Yes,
So it's
yes,
great for gut health. Then obviously, that's
yes.
something
So
else.
they use the amalaki fruit, right? And it's made. And I'm going to read it. I'm just going to read it real quick, so that everybody can kind of get an idea of what we're talking about here, right? Amalaki powder, or amla, is a supplement derived from the Indian gooseberry. It is rich source of vitamins and bioactive compounds, and research estimates support the immune system, improve digestion, and even protect against cancer. That's that is what caught again. that's what caught my eye, was about the cancer. Obviously, we all know my situation with cancer, and this is a non-CBD product, right? But again, Zilis going and researching the natural fruits of nature to help our body, and the way they formulate and the way that they can get the bioavailability from all their products is what makes everything they do top of the line. Amalaki just came out. There's, again, go research. Like Dr. Emily said, on any of this, go out there and research, so that the disclaimer is that this stuff is not going to fix anything that Zilis is, but we do know we can help, and they provide and make these products based off the nature's way of healing the body, right? So anything that we find, Chuck will be back here shortly. His computer had to restart, but again, it's kind of like with the CBD, right? If you all had a chance to watch the last podcast with Dr. Emily, and what we've talked about before in our other podcasts about some of the other things that Zilis has to provide, that is not only found naturally out in the open, but it's also found in our body. And all they do is they just make it better. The body, as we get older and things, we go through things in our life where our body changes to the point where we start losing some of that natural stuff that we have in our body. Estrogen, testosterone, serotonin, melatonin, all that stuff starts fading away. And the endocannabinoid system is the computer that tells our body, hey, we got this going on over here, and we got this going on over here, and the brain, hey, what do I need to do? Well, we need to go ahead and focus on this area. And Amalaki is just another natural way for Zilis and help the body get better, and show us that we don't need all the crazy things in the world. Welcome back, man.
Sorry about that.
I was just talking about how this, with Amalaki coming out now, it's just another thing that Zilis came up with, and I say came up with, has made into a form that we can take to help our bodies. If you have digestive issues, if you have cancer situations and you can't take CBD, or you're afraid to take CBD, Dr. Emily, we had talked about it before. Okay, well, there's alternatives. While not as potent on some of the things, these things can help in other areas while assisting your body in areas that CBD doesn't. It's those kind of things, and those, like she said, all the receptors on the body and things like that. So Amalaki, it just came out. I'm looking forward to trying it. It's in the powder form right now for ambassadors to buy in mass quantities. But do your research. But we've been very excited about this product, so I'm looking forward to it.
So far, as far as the lease goes, I do the ultracell, the regular ultracell, and man,
yeah, tell us about it. I'm glad you said that. We had talked a little bit about it with Dr. Emily last week, but I had asked you today. I think this is a good time for you to give your first full week and a half assessment of how it's working for you.
Why is my computer doing this? It keeps shutting off and coming back down.
I can hear you.
Okay. That's kind of weird. So let's go here. But anyway, I guess I can tell you about it if I can't speak on it. Shut that off. Figure that out. And that, it just kind of completely lost my camera. There it goes. That's weird.
There you are. Let's try this again.
I don't know what's going on with this. Anyway, I've been doing the ultracell now for 2 weeks. Every day, daily, 2 weeks. 3 of those days were my back was like really livid. And I was telling you how I've been getting kind of like I call it a reverse sciatic. Because how sciatic's always in the back of your legs.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
like it's like my thighs. It's like messing with my thighs. I don't know. I don't get it. It's like my quad right in the front. Um, the other night I was walking in front of the bed, go to the bathroom, and boop, boop, like my leg just disappeared.
Hmm.
So it's been, my issues are a little bit deeper than what I even thought. So maybe with this new appointments that I'm getting, I've had like 2 appointments already this week, and I think I got like three or four next week. But hopefully things will be getting better. But as far as the lease aspect goes, as far as getting enough sleep where I can heal, the lease is like on it, doggone it. I'm telling you, I sleep great. I don't wake up feeling weird or because like sometimes when you sleep really, really, really good,
Sure.
you
Yep.
just like when you wake up, you're like, Fred, my name's Fred. That's
Right.
how you wake up because you're just that tired. Well,
Right.
good thing is I don't get that with Zilis. I mean, I can sleep like a rock and wake up, when I wake up, I'm like, wow, I'm wide awake. I feel like I have energy. You know what I mean? Even though with my back at the moment, I really can't get up and do a whole lot, but I feel like I have energy. I don't feel like I'm weighed down like I used to. I feel like, uh, and even my eating habits, I don't eat. And it sounds funny. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm feeling better and I don't feel the need or what. But
Hmm.
I actually don't eat like I used to. I've actually kind of scaled down my food. My caloric intake. I even scaled that down some. So I mean, it since I started taking it, I've seen nothing but great things for me.
It's crazy that you talk about the appetite, right? And we're not talking about burn. We're talking about the body telling itself to use it. She talked about all the cannabinoids that is in CBD, and obviously our gut has receptors in it that reach certain cannabinoids, and you know, um, yes, CBD is somewhat of an appetite suppressant in a small way. I've also noticed that too.
Well, I know now when I was taking the other CBD that I was taking,
Mhm.
which I'm not going to mention the name, but it's a green and gold label, and it's in a dark brown bottle. That's all I'm going to tell you. Okay, but um, it would make me want to eat.
If it had THC in it, yeah,
It made me feel like I
yeah,
wanted to eat,
mhm,
um, which was kind of what I really was. I was expecting that from Zilis because I've messed with it once before, but it was like for like a few days and it wasn't nothing. So it was more of a kind of a trial thing. But now that I'm actually using it like I'm supposed to, I'm on it every day, and
yeah,
I take my heart pills every day, which they've got me on new stuff now for cholesterol. At least it's not a statin, and that's what I'm really happy about. They
sure,
didn't put me on another statin drug, which I'm so stoked and happy about. But my
sure.
cholesterol is going up. So let's hope now that I'm being on being on Zilis and taking my pills like I'm supposed to for my heart and for my blood pressure and for whatever else they got pills on me before. Hopefully that'll get better. But as of right now, man, I feel way better than I have in the past. I'll say in the recent past. But
Sure.
the CBD that I took before, it made me want to eat.
Yeah, and even if you read about it, right? Like she said, and like we've said, go and do your research, and everything that we talk about is what's happened to us
Right.
living living every day, alive and living color. But what I would tell you is give it 90 days. Wait until you're on it
Oh,
90
absolutely.
days. You
Absolutely.
know, and and then your first blood work. After the 90 days to 6 months, and then you do your
Yeah.
first blood work after that, and you see how dynamically your how your numbers have changed dynamically.
Right.
Um,
Right.
that's when I started going, okay, I
That's
want
the
to
gratitude.
try getting off this. And then I started one by one, started taking myself off all my pills one by one. And absolutely. So that's awesome, man. I'm really happy for it. It's kind of like Mike, Mike,
Yeah.
how much better he's felt. And Landon's wife, McKaylin, she's on it. Yeah. And again, anxiety is crazy,
Yeah.
right? Um, and I say it as honest and truthful as I can say it. Anything cognitively that you can work on and fix, you still have to do. You have to, we'll go back real quick and not to get too deep into it, but we talked about it before. Calm and chaos. Everything outside of your control, you have to just not react to it triggering your mind. It's your reaction, right? Then you add in like vibe or just ultrasound in general and how everything starts calming down. Then you have a more focus. Like things may irritate you, and you're just like, okay, it's really not bothering me as much as it normally would.
Right. I have
And
noticed that my temper's
have
not.
you noticed that how like your reaction to the triggers is just not as much because
Right.
there's not the heightened,
Yeah.
awareness
It's
or
like
not.
you don't get set off so fast. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
yeah, you don't get
Like
fired off. Yeah,
maybe it's
so
because I'm actually getting some sleep and rest, and I'm not cranky from not sleeping. Maybe that's what it is. I
yeah, and
don't know.
we
Whatever it
talked
is,
earlier, and we talked about that earlier too. So I have set up an auto-ship. I'm going to get on the R&R just because I want to try I just want to see what it does for me.
Sure.
And that is different than Dream because Dream is a natural melatonin that
Right.
that they have in a bottle that it puts you out
Yeah.
and keeps you
Right.
out. But that's all it does is it's the hammer in a bottle, right? R&R not only puts you to sleep, helps you stay asleep, but all the endocannabinoids are working now during your rest cycle,
Right.
right?
Right.
So if you take it before you go to bed, in that first hour or so, that's when max response to your body to what you take,
Right.
and everything in R&R is okay. Now it's fresh, so all the receptors are here we go, and they start fixing, and you're knocked out, waka, but your body is starting to right. So I'm going to test R&R and I say test it not like it's not going to work, but I'm saying what it's going to do for me so I can say this is what it did for me, which means in turn it'll do the same for you. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tell you what, I really want. Let's see if I can find it again. I just was looking at it just a minute ago, and I forgot the name of it. Oh no! I got the wrong page. I'm doing this with my contacts in, so yeah, bear with me. My
So yeah,
contacts allow me to see out there. I just can't see up close.
sure,
Let's see.
sure. So uh, yeah, I'm really stoked for that.
Energy and cognition. That's what I was. The edge. See, I want to try edge.
Mm-hmm. So that's cognitive health,
Right.
and that's
They
at
have
the root.
now they have ultra edge too.
It's what it is. It's ultra edge.
They have, but ultra edge is hemp free.
It's hemp free, but it's made from a root. And don't I got my bottle over there. Don't dare me get to try to speak that language, but it's a root that they found. I want to say in South Africa, in a very very remote part of South Africa, and it's the only root that has shown by research to have any type of health benefits, focus, memory, uh, for your brain matter.
Mm-hmm.
So I take that every day, and it's like taking a shot of coffee too. By the way, like if you're starting to drag a little bit, bust out an edge, wake you up. Mm-hmm.
Want some of that happy time tea?
Good stuff. The Happy Coffee is amazing.
And let's see, where did it go?
Hmm.
I'm trying to find it. I'm looking. There's one thing I'm trying to find, and I'm trying. So I got my glasses on, so I can't see that glasses. Hey, looky there! I can see everything now. Okay, now we got okay, here, but I really, really want to get on that. I really do.
The Edge.
Um,
Hmm.
Edge is one for sure,
And the
and
cool
then
thing about the Edge is you can buy a 2 month. You can buy you can buy a 2 month bottle for like 60. It's like $70. Hmm. Yep.
now let's go to,
That stuff's pretty awesome.
Vibe. Obviously, got to get
Vibe.
Vibe.
Yeah. The Vibe is huge for anxiety. I'm on it. I take it. Stuff's amazing.
Right? Well, where did it go? Well, I had it written down. Let's see. What did I do with that list? Yeah, I can't even remember now. God dang it.
So so
I had it
anyway,
written. I was talking
yeah.
to you about it earlier. There's three of them. I wanted to do Edge,
Oh, you talk about ice. You also talk about the
Edge
ice. Yeah, with the
Ice.
turmeric.
That's what
Yeah, the balance in the
turmeric.
joints. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
for sure.
I
For sure.
take all. I have all three of those sitting right over here. Hmm. And
Definitely want.
going back to the gym, the ice is what. To be honest with you, I don't. I haven't had that arthritic pain that I used to get when I was lifting, and so I've been able to get back in the gym and uh, be able to do some exercises and stuff without the arthritis flaring up, whatever. Not that ice is amazing. That stuff is just that
You
turmeric
dig
and
it?
the way they take it. Hmm. Dig it. Yeah.
I gotta try it. I gotta
So
try it. Oh
yeah,
no!
man,
Come on! Just gotta give me a hard time.
Mike,
So,
what's going on, buddy?
oh,
Good
he
seeing
made
you.
it.
Good
What's
seeing
up?
you. Yes.
What's up, Boudreaux? Okay. Now, where did it go that I was looking for? Oh my Happy Coffee, Ultra Shield
And if
Powder
anybody
Shield.
out there that's watching, you can go to Zilis.com and to go to our landing page for our charity. It's back. It's /RL4T. Relief for Troops. It takes you directly to our charity page, and you can see all of the Zilis products on there. Uh, Shop around. Anything that you guys purchase or order or what have you not. Uh, um, it all goes to our charity. So and that's just to give back to our veterans and what have you not.
And ladies, there are some really cool skincare products. They're promo priced right now.
Yes.
Okay, they got the recovering moisturizer, the foaming cleanser, body butter. That and all three of those, Dr. Jill or um, Doc last week was talking about.
Hmm. And I want to show this. I'm glad you brought that up because I got two of these
Eye cream, even.
in my ambassador kit, right? But Lichet, this is CBD infused lip balm, and this stuff is absolutely amazing. Now my girlfriend can't take it because she's very sensitive to it, but this right here, chap lips, CBD. So you know how you get the chapped lips, right? Like in the wintertime, and they'll start cracking and then they hurt, right? Right? Well, or they get sunburned, right? It's got CBD in it, calms everything down, helps heal it. Stuff's right here. Look out. Lishay. It's Lishay, and this is Revive Lip Balm. I use it. It's right there. Go get you some. Stuff's amazing.
So now, um, as far as like still on the Zilis topic,
Hmm.
uh, the burn. Now,
Yeah.
uh, you and I used to be lifting partners at one time,
Hmm.
and we would take like your supplements like protein, And for all those bodybuilders out there, this is back when Russian bears were a thing. I
Yeah,
tell you how long
right.
ago it
That's true. Yeah,
was.
very true.
But I would take Russian bears. I would take Yohimbe, Smilex, all kinds of weird stuff.
Andro.
But um, yeah, now uh, hot stuff double X. I don't know if you remember that stuff. That stuff you take too
Yeah,
much, it make you throw up.
yeah.
You take too
No,
much
that's
of it.
true. That's true.
But now they have a product that's called Burn. Now, is that anything that would be considered like? Could you use that in, like, say, as a supplement to bodybuild?
It does nothing for you bodybuild wise, right? All that is a thermogenic that has a lot, that is 130 milligrams of chromium in it. That,
Oh, so it could be
um,
good for like weight loss.
yes, it suppresses your appetite, you're talking about putting a blowtorch to your metabolism. That's like, putting a grenade there and setting it off. But the
Like,
key, the big proponent to burn and how it works is it goes into the C1, C2 receptors, and it tells your brain to tell your gut to turn off and use the energy and sugar that's naturally produced by your pancreas as
gotcha.
energy. So if you take a burn before you work out, right? You shake it up, put it in your drink or whatever, or they used to have the oil. They're going to come back out with the oil. I like the oil better, to be honest with you, but I have the powder too. You take that and you drink it, and I used to drink it when I was sitting in the sauna before I worked out, because I always go to the sauna, try to get the heat in me, loosen everything up, because us old folk, we need a little help, and then we go and go work out. While I was sitting in the sauna, I was drinking. I took my bottle of water, mixed it up with the burn, and I drank the burn. And then you work out, you have your energy, blah, blah, blah. You take all your pre-workouts or whatever you want to take, and then you'll find yourself not hungry. Because the thermogenic and the chromium starts telling your body, pancreas is creating sugar, burn it. Burn it. Tells your brain, I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. Still got to eat, but I'm not hungry. And the biggest effect that I have seen through personal customers that were on it before was diabetics.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Sugar crash. They had to back off the dosage a little bit because they was sugar crash because it burned all the sugar. Right? So you got to be careful with that. But for people that don't have a diabetic issue or what have you not, you take burn and drink a lot of water and snack clean food, chicken,
Yeah.
turkey, clean food, salads, whatever. Your body is going to continue to hey, I need more, and that's when it starts pulling from the fat. That pulls the nutrients and
Right.
energy from the fat and everything, and starts eating at it, because your pancreas is like, okay, I'm working here because you need more sugar, but your gut's going, I'm bored. So you still got to eat, but burn, man. Whew. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Outstanding. So,
So,
thank
all
you.
right. You know, so moving forward with our topics tonight, right? You see in there, can the legend pull out another win? We're gonna go to New Mexico this week, and we're leaving tomorrow after work, and then we're gonna go and we're gonna go race with Michael. I'm not racing this time yet, but we're gonna go and we're gonna watch Michael and Bryce race, because it's one of the other nights that they get to race together, I believe. So, um, I had asked him. I said, "Hey, we need to have you on the podcast." And he wanted to go, and he was like, "Yeah, let me see if I get another win, man." And anyway, he finished third 2 weekends ago, right? So he was like,
Yeah.
maybe it was a fluke or whatever, but it was a real needed win. And then of course his son the week prior,
Yeah.
from 23rd to and he won it at the age of 14. Has been great. So we're gonna go travel there. We're gonna travel to New Mexico this weekend. We're gonna go racing with Michael. Maybe we can bring us some more luck for him and Bryce. And I'll have a full race update. But quick update with the sprint car. He I've talked to him a couple times since then, and he said, "Listen," he said, "we're finding the speed in the car. It's a new chassis. Um,
Oh, okay.
you know, anytime you get a new different mate, you know, not no two chassis are exactly the same. Landon and I have the same chassis a year apart, identical, but the cars they react just a little bit different, right? You know, different engine combinations, obviously, what have you not. But in the world of sprint car racing, while they all look the same, there are certain things that are just a little bit different, and that little bit in a 1,600-pound car can change how, you know, change the path that you go on to get the car right. Right. So they're finding the speed. They're getting the shock package squared away. You know, it's really cool that I can actually tell him from the stands or from TV what the car looked like it's doing. And he says, yeah, that's what it felt like. So we've kind of collaborated just a little bit, and we talked about it, and they've had to work on freeing the car up so the car could rotate because the track over there is changing. And then the last time they were out, they had the car kind of set up for a hammer down track where they keep the foot in it, and it turned out to be the track dried out really, really quick. So they ended up, and you can miss it just like that, you know, just a
Sure.
shock adjustment or whatever. So so we're going to see what happens this weekend. Hopefully we can go and bring some luck. I'm going to go ahead and I'll do a couple videos from theirs and post it on Gearheads and Guardians so everybody can see who this legend anomaly of Mark Archuleta is. So I'll go ahead and post them and make some videos for you guys to get some entertainment from New Mexico. So yeah.
Outstanding.
So yeah, looking forward to that.
Did you now? Since we're talking about racing,
yeah,
let's talk NASCAR for just a minute.
Sure, let's do it.
You already know where I'm going with it. I already know you know where I'm going with it. That was the big weekend last week. The last weekend, it was a pretty wild race, and then right at the end, last lap, came up, bumped Joey Logano.
Well, that wasn't a bump, guy. That wasn't a bump. No, he moved him.
Oh no, I know it wasn't a bump.
Yeah, he moved him.
He tried to pawn it off as.
Yeah, and then the swipe into Denny Hamlin. Let me go and say this. As a driver, I can understand, even though I haven't been in that serious of a situation where I've needed to win, right?
Right.
But as a driver, I've never done that, right? I've intentionally on restarts. I learned a lesson. And you'll follow me where I'm going with this, right? You never want to be that guy, right? You never want to be that guy that just goes out there and no matter how desperate you are, you're willing to wreck or possibly wreck yourself just to get something, right?
Just to get points. No,
I don't. Good. Yes, we have guys that drive like that in our class out here, and I'm not afraid to say it. And I myself have gotten lucky almost every time that I've made a mistake and spun out in front of the field while I'm leading. I'll admit to that. But intentionally wrecking somebody to do or advance or to get further, closer
get
to
the pack because you're not skilled enough to get around them.
Yeah, that was dirty, and that was very dirty. So sitting here as a driver, being able to say that, I can understand where he was probably needing, to feel that. But if you read the headlines, there's more to it actually that's come out. His spotter told him to do it. His spotter was on the radio and said, wreck him. Now, he was 4.5, 5 cars behind Joey Logano when they went into turn 3. And when Joey Logano got off the gas to get into the corner, Dylan kept it buried, and you saw what happened. He wrecked him.
Yes, yep.
Well, in the midst of that, Denny Hamlin was in the catbird seat, and he was like, okay, while you two over there dancing around with each other, I'm going to keep on going. And Austin Dillon just turned left into him. NASCAR, I believe, made the right move with penalizing.
On that? I didn't catch that.
So
That was
they
what I was alluding to.
so with that, obviously, if you watch Kenny Wallace show, I watch Coffee with Kenny Wallace, and I watch Kenny Wallace show every day. And he's been talking a lot because everybody keeps blowing his phone up about, okay, what's Kenny say? What's Kenny say? And Kenny said it. NASCAR is going to do something. What? I don't know, but this is what I think they're going to do. You can go ahead and watch that podcast or his show, and he'll tell you. And I agree with him, and I think he was right on the money. They're going to let him have the win based on he finished first. But they're going to take away the qualification for the playoffs because it goes against the ethics code.
Right.
Bumping someone and moving them out of the way to get by, that's racing. Rubbing's racing.
That's what that is.
Right? And Kenny Wallace said it right. He said, listen, there are no Dale Earnhardt Sr. was the only guy that could have gotten away with that because he'd have walked through the pit and said, what are you going to do about it? Right? He had that aura. Yeah, he had that aura. But he also was he was a man of his word. Exactly. He was a man of his word. But being in the number 3 car and working for Dale Earnhardt Sr.'s old boss still, needing to get into the playoffs, that pressure that's down on it, I think it would have been a more stand-up notion to just take you licks and say, because if he'd have never done that, then the talk would have been Joey Logano lagging back. Because in our world, that's brake checking.
That's right.
Because when you're we got to keep a pace, right? And I was taught by my crew chief, John Lawrence, after getting burnt on restart because I never was close to anybody because I was always afraid to be close to somebody. I was just trying to be respectful. And he said, listen, on a restart, you get in there crap. So I actually lean my nose. I'll lean on you so that when you mash the gas, I don't lose much. I stay with you instead of here. And then we start doing this. Joey Logano did this to try to get a run. And that's like brake checking. If you saw everybody else, they had to slow down.
Yeah, whoa, yep.
Yep. If Austin Dillon had not done what he did, the talk would not be about him. It would be how he probably got screwed on the win because we had someone not keep the pack tight like you're supposed to. He came back and then he got a run on it, and you're not supposed to do that. Right? So I think it's right. I don't think I'm on the fence whether or not he even earned the win. I think Denny Hamlin or Joey Logano should be awarded that win in the sense because of the dirt.
I look at it like this. If they award him those points or award him the win, okay, fine and dandy. You can have a trophy. You can have say, hey, I won it, but you don't get no points for it.
Mm-mm.
And for like any kind of special shootout or anything like that, forget it.
Nope. And
that was a bad ethical call.
It's a very bad driver decision,
or his spot or whatever.
Well, both.
I look at it like this: every driver out there has a headset on. They listen to their crew chief, pit crew, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
I get that part. I get that 100%. I'm tracking. But okay, if you know something's not ethical, then and you go ahead and you do it anyway, that's a piss poor judgment call on you, and that just shows what kind of a man you are.
Yeah, I don't care how desperate you are, and I don't care what the pressure would be. And I'm going to say this as a driver too, right? Let me just no, I'm not NASCAR. I'll never be there, never even dream of doing it, right? But as a driver in any type of motorsports, I rather be respected for the ability to control my emotions and put all that energy that I would take. I did it one time. I got upset at one time. And I pulled a slide move on a competitor coming out turn 4. I pulled a slide move, and he had to get on his brakes so he wouldn't get into me. Clean. And being one of those people that felt like they were owed, well, I'm the track champ. I'm better than you. Next time I have to get on my brakes, I'm just going to send you into the fence. I was still in the car. He jumped out of his car, came over my pit, and I said, let me get out of this car before you start running your mouth. Heard nothing more of it. Talked the next week. Hey, man, I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. That was a racing move. You did good. It was my bad. I didn't mean to come over and start running my mouth. I just, I said, it's all right. Right. I got upset one time and I didn't make it to the guy's pit. I got turned around by John Lawrence. He says, no, sir, you go come out. Because I was so mad that I had won the first 3 races out at Shady Oaks. And we went to an off points night down in Corpus to see how the new setup was going to work, because we had just switched the car to 3-link, right? Okay. And the car's fast. I said, yeah, absolutely. Let's go down there. I broke a throttle. My throttle linkage came off in the heat race, so I had to start back a couple rows and what have you not. So I started in the back somewhat, and I'm like, all right, let's see if we can go to the front. And as soon as I got off the gas, the car felt real light, and next thing you know, I'm going into the wall. What? Twisted everything we had just put underneath the car. Bars, shocks, everything. And come to find out, I had help.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I had help. Yeah, I had help because it had gone around that, we need to find a way to stop him. And this is no crap. This is not an ego. This is straight up. I got tech before I even got off the trailer because everybody was like, something's not right. He started 18th and he led the last 6 laps past 4 cars going down the back straightaway. Something's not right with his car. They got all on video. And they teched the car. Everything is fine. We were just on. The car was just on. So they stuffed me in the wall. I got the colors from the other car. I knew who it was. And when I found out, I started my march. And then I got stopped. John said, why? What are you going to do? Why don't you just take it to the next race and we just go ahead and hand it to him? And so I can understand Austin Dillon's pressure to be in the playoffs and it is NASCAR. It is a whole much bigger level. Yeah. But I'd rather be respected as a driver that said, okay, that's the way you're going to be. I'll hand it to you next time, exactly. And then we'll go from there. So,
and it really is. It's all about sportsmanship. And the thing of it is, and you know how I feel about kids. You know what I mean? I don't mess with a kid in front of me because you're probably going to get hurt really, really bad. Okay.
Sure.
But what bothers me about, and not just NASCAR now, I'm talking professional sports across the board.
Sure.
Whether it be professional motocross racing, BMX racing, or if it's, monster trucks, NASCAR, I don't care. If it's a sport, basketball, baseball, football, tennis, table tennis, whatever, pickleball. It could be a game of spades or arm wrestling. I don't care.
Sure.
Okay. But if you're an adult and you're in the public eye, okay, and you're playing in a sport or you're competing against somebody, okay, have the decency to show children the right way to conduct themselves. Show them what true sportsmanship is.
Yep.
Okay. Is sports is winning. Now nobody likes to lose. Everybody likes to win.
Sure.
I love to win. Okay. I play cards against my kids. I don't care. I'm winning. Okay.
But you're not going to beat them down for doing something dirty. Right. I mean,
but
yeah.
Show them how to play. Show them how to be respectful and show them what sportsmanship is.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you got me this time. Next week, I'm coming to get you, though.
Yeah.
Shake their hand. Hey, great race or good game, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But when they get out the car and they start doing, and hey, I'm guilty. One of the first season I raced with you, something happened. I can't remember what it was. Something happened. You didn't even come off the track yet, and I'm already walking to somebody's pit.
That was tribute to the troops, and I got drove. We had just put a new body on the car, and that special wrap that we did. Yeah, and I jumped to the lead, and then someone had drove into the side of me and tore the car up, and And yeah, there's some upset people
literally
about it.
right into the side of the car.
Yeah, but did you said something about the sportsmanship and setting the example? Denny Hamlin, out of all of this, was the
It was
most sane
excellent.
because he was like,
Excellent.
"He clipped me in my left rear, and it is what it is." And then you got Joey Logano acting like a 5-year-old doing burnouts in front of people, getting all mad, going down pit road. I mean, and he's going to get fined. NASCAR is going to
Oh,
fine
yeah.
him for ethics. I mean, come on. Listen, I get it. Tony Stewart was the king of. I'm going to show you my emotions. He'd run out on the track. He'd throw his helmet at you. He didn't care. He'd throw the finger at you. He'd tell the reporter, "What kind of dumbass question is that? What do you think happened? Go watch the replay." I mean, he didn't care.
Exactly.
But he also said that his passion for the sport, he never intentionally wrecked anybody.
Right.
Handle it man to man, and what have you not. It's kind of, and I don't want to go into it, but now we're talking about, it's kind of like the whole thing with Kevin Ward, Tony Stewart at Canandaigua, right?
Yeah.
Up at Land of the Legends Raceway, which is what's called now, when everybody, before they knew the whole deal about Kevin Ward getting hit by Tony's car, until it came out on why and how it happened, right? And Tony never got mad at anybody that accused him of wrongdoing. He never got mad. He said, "You know what? I mean, he didn't come out of into the public eye for months because he was so hurt by what happened, and it wasn't his fault." And if you don't know what I'm talking about, Kevin Ward was racing with the All Stars up at Canandaigua, and Tony Stewart was racing, and him and Tony Stewart went around him, and they got together, and Kevin Ward spun out, had a flat tire. He gets out of his car on the track. Now, mind you, obviously at night, there's low light, and you can only see so much. 2, he's wearing black fire suit, black helmet. He's standing against his car, or in the silhouette of his car, which is black. And inside of a sprint car, if you've never sat inside of a sprint car, it is you can't see outside the right side of the car because the wing board blocks your view.
Right.
And it wasn't until the last minute that you see Kevin Ward try to grab the wing, and he wanted to make a point and be all, I'm going to say something to Tony Stewart because he spun me out, blah, 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 blah. Next thing you know, he gets hit by Tony's right rear tire. Tony he didn't see him until the very last minute. He tried to turn out of the way, and he got hit, and it killed him. Right? Tony, instead of getting mad at all the people that were blaming him for that, and all the criticism that came down for that, even after they found out that Kevin Ward was high, he had cannabis in his body driving a wing sprint car, right? Even after that, people still wanted to say, well, but still, you could have done this. You could have, Tony. He didn't let it bother him, right? He was very sportsmanlike, and he even settled with the family and did whatever it is that he did. It's the same way with Joey Logano and these guys out here. They're all wrong. And Denny Hamlin got wrecked too, and he was like, he got into my left rear. I'm not going to be that guy. Here's what it is. I still finished 5th or something, sliding sideways.
Right. And I've never been a big Denny Hamlin fan. I'm going to be honest.
No, but they've all had their moments, bro.
Oh yeah. Now he's done some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know what? I'm Italian. I gotta hang out with Joey Logano because he's a guinea too. But okay. And then he used to roll with the 20. So, and I'm a smoke fan from hell. So
oh yeah, big smoke fan.
Tony Stewart is the one that kept me interested in NASCAR. After when me and you were in Korea together, people come running up the stairs. Where's wires? Where's wires? Where's wires? Hessler. Dale just died. Yep. We're like, what? We didn't even get a chance to turn the TV on to watch the race. And people were coming out running up and telling us that Dale Sr. had died.
Yep.
And I don't know if you remember me telling you, I told you then, I said, NASCAR will never be the same I don't know if I'll ever watch it again.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I think it was
Came back to the
yeah
States and I became a big, huge Tony Stewart fan. So
yeah yeah I whenever he got hired on by Joe Gibbs to run the 20 Home Depot car, I was a big fan of his. But then I was a fan of his before because he grew up in sprint cars and Silver Crown
yeah,
and
yeah.
things like that. So and having grown up around sprint cars, I watched Jeff Gordon race a sprint car back.
Yeah, well, you know
Oh
what's
yeah,
crazy? You
yeah,
know what's crazy? Smoke was driving a Pontiac when he first started in NASCAR. Believe that.
it
I'll tell you
was.
how long it's been.
It's been a long time.
It's been
So
a long time because
yeah,
the
I think
Pontiac guys have been in NASCAR for a long time.
yeah, yeah, I think they did it right, and we'll see what happens going in. But I think they did it right. NASCAR called it right. So,
Yeah, I just
but
again, I just hope that in this instance, that everybody um, learns a lesson. Learn a
yeah,
lesson from it. Um, and like I said, and the thing with it is, and I'm guilty too, because I'm a hothead. But I just it's the kids, man.
oh yeah,
The
yeah. You want to
kids.
be a role model.
Be a role model, exactly.
We were the last race that we had. I went down after obviously shutting down the tower and everything. I went down and hung out with Landon and them, like I always do, and go help them load the car if they need or whatever not. And it was a very long night, so they already had done, but they had a bunch of kids and there was a couple veterans standing around, and this veteran, um, he comes out to the races now, and he comes up to me, and you're talking about kids. He comes up to me, he says, "Hey Nitro, I just want to thank you again for turning my interest into to dirt track racing, and I really love it. We come out here all the time." And I'm like, "Man, I'm trying to remember you." And he's like, "Yeah, a long time ago, you brought the race car out to the Center for the Intrepid and Bamsey when you did tribute." I said, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." He says, "I've been hooked on racing ever since. So I want to thank you, Mr. Hessler, for this and that. By the way, my kids." And so I got a hat and I signed the hat and I gave it to the kiddos and what have you not. And so when you talk about role models and things like that, Landon, they were in Landon's car, and Landon's letting them just sit in the car, and they can even start the car. I mean, it's that kind of stuff that we do, right? That gets kids to have, not that I want to be a role model, but if you see me driving, if you see me racing, if you can learn something from me or learn from something Landon or a driver out there, and they're good to you and they actually talk to you and what have you not, that's what you do, right?
Yeah,
That's why we do it.
that's what brings fans. That's what
Yeah,
brings people in for the show.
absolutely. And so it's a great feeling that you impact. I had no idea I impacted this family and their love for racing by meeting me years ago. Right? I had no idea because we don't think about it. It's more just
Sure.
good show, and we want to be competitors, what have you not. So it's a great thing, man. And kids watch TV, they want to be NASCAR and stuff, and here you are acting like a 10-year-old
Yeah.
that got his cereal taken away. I mean, come on, guy. I mean, you're gonna be back next week with another car. So what are you worried about? And I get it, but come on, be the bigger person. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
So that's the message for the week. Be the bigger person.
yeah, sportsmanship.
That's right.
But real quick, man, I know we've actually covered a lot of stuff. It's really been very informative. And but the last thing I want to hit on, you had asked me earlier today, when we were talking, and say, hey, what's one of the things you want to talk about tonight? And you brought up the topic between iron sights with optics, right?
Oh,
To use optics, not to use optics, or if you want to
yeah.
use the what have you
Man,
not. We got a few minutes left. Let's talk about that real quick because I talked to
yeah,
you about putting optics on on our two Glocks, right? Because girlfriend wears glasses, they're progressive, and I believe an optic where you can have both eyes open and what have you.
sure.
And I really think that's going to help her a lot. But I also like the optic because in low light,
Yeah. Well,
right?
see,
And if you
now
don't have
that,
illuminated iron sights, you can see.
Roger. That's where I was going to go with that. Um, Now I have more than one sidearm, okay, or firearm or whatever you want to call it, or Glock, okay. Uh, I have some with with the red dots, and I have some with just straight iron sights,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Um, but what I am in the process of doing, and I'm just like super stoked with the quality of the sights that I found. But there's one other company I definitely want to try. Um, for sure want to try. But so far, the ones that I have now, totally love them. They're a tritium sight. I put them on my
Treat it.
19 tritium, and um, still run. I still run my Olight. Got to have an Olight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I know there's a lot of guys out there. Oh, Olight's junk. Olight's junk. That's trash. That's trash. It's garbage. And
Yeah.
again, I'm going to tell you. Okay. You can call it whatever you want to. Okay. Okay. I just like my truck, it's a Ford. I call it a Ford. You know, I have an Olight. I call it an Olight. It works for me. It does what I need it to do. Why should I go spend, you know, 195 or $200 on a light? It works great, does a wonderful job, but I can do the same thing with this light for $100 or
Right.
$120, and it does the exact same thing. Plus, I got a laser. Plus, it's rechargeable. I don't have to worry about putting batteries in it. I don't have to do all this crap that you do.
Right.
It works for me. Okay. Now, that being said, back to sites. Um, and I started training like this, but I found, I think it was on YouTube. I can't remember if it was on YouTube or another website or something. I try to read a lot since I'm hard for me to sit, hard for me to stand. It's like I said, I've been leaning in my chair back like this,
Sure.
leaning forward. But anyway, I've been training with Strikeman and with the tritium sights, and I read an article as about how Navy SEALs train with their handguns, and I was very, very, very intrigued. Obviously, okay,
Mm-hmm.
being a military guy, and I love firearms, so I wanted to find out, okay, what kind of training are they doing that I don't know about, or something that I, could tweak to be more like their training or whatever.
Right.
When they shoot iron sights, they don't they don't do the whole one eye searching around kind of thing, Um, and believe it or not, um, now you have to have a rear sight, obviously, because that's going to give you
Sure.
your
You're up and
elevation
down. Mm-hmm.
like that. Okay, but what they do with the way they shoot for a quicker acquisition of a target, okay, when they draw up and they press out, they're not even looking through their rear sight. They're finding their objective, putting the front sight on it, and then they come up with the rear sight.
Well, that kind of makes sense.
Okay. So as far as like,
Yeah.
well, you got to figure when you're using a handgun in a tactical situation, okay, you're not shooting 80, 90 yards or 50 yards or anything like that. In a tactical situation, most of the time, those
Right
dudes are
now.
like
Mhm.
30 feet from you,
Yeah.
not even 30 yards, 30 feet,
Yeah.
So, uh, I started training like that, and I really, really dig it. And not to say that I don't like my swamp fox stuff. I'm a big swamp, and I know a lot of everybody's like swamp fox. Again,
Hey,
it works
it
for
does.
me. It
Yeah.
works
If
for
it
me.
works, it works.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. It's like not everybody is smart enough to buy a Ford. Some people buy Dodges and Chevys. Hey, I'm teasing, guys. I'm teasing. But anyway, um, it works for me. So I use um, a tritium sight.
Mhm.
Now, if you're gonna use an optic, but you still you're gonna need iron sights, because what happens if that optic goes bad on you?
Right.
Okay, and God forbid you ever have to, it got so bad where it was plugged up full of mud and crust and everything like that. You had to break the optic or something. That would be horrible. But you'd
Hmm.
still need iron sights.
Yeah.
So what they sell, instead of having a profile that's short like a front sight, your front sight being like this, it's actually elevated
So you
with
can
that,
see it through the glass.
so you can see, because when you put that optic on your handgun,
Yeah.
that's going to basically it'll cover up your rear sight,
Right.
you know. So and it depends, again. It depends on the optic and the handgun too. But I know on a Glock, when I put that swamp box optics on there, I
Yeah.
can't I can't even see my backside. So that's why I had to go get a suppressor height sight. Now it depends
Sure.
on if you want like a 3/4. I just had the tip of my tongue. It's co something. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, co-witness. Okay.
Co-witness. Mhm.
If you want, it depends. Do you want wherever your front sight post and your rear sight post, do you want that red dot to be right there, or do you want it to be a 3/4 where your these iron sights are here and your red dot's here? Is that how you
Right.
want it? It depends on what's
Sure.
comfortable with you. Okay.
Right.
Me, I like 100% co-witness. Wherever my dot is, that's where my front sight post is. You know,
Yep. And
I don't want
laser light. You have all three at
all
one
three.
spot, just because, if your optic goes out and it's in low light, you don't have illuminated sights. At least you have your laser. At least you know that where that goes.
Sure,
That's so
sure.
it's insurance. It's insurance. Yeah.
That's the
So
last ditch effort. Yeah, because
yeah.
if you have a light, you know, tritium sights aren't a big thing. Okay,
Right.
but again, what happens when that
Yep.
piece of equipment fails? You got to have Plan B. Okay.
Yep.
So again, that's why I really like, and a lot of people when you're using a red dot, and they put their suppressor height sights on there. Okay. Now, most guys will just put a suppressor height sight, front, rear,
Mhm.
call it a day. I'm stuck on stupid when it comes to tritium sights.
Sure.
But if you're using an optic, your rear sight, if you're going to get tritium, your rear sight should be blacked out. You don't want no tritium, nothing back there. If you're
Yeah.
going to do tritium, just do the front sight post. That's all you need.
Sure.
Trust me on that when I tell you.
Sure.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, man. And
Nice.
and again, I've found now, and there's again, I drive a Ford. You might drive a Chevrolet or
Mhm.
something like
You got to
that.
make it work for you. You got to make it work for
Whatever
you.
works for you. That's
good.
what.
Yeah.
Get what works for you. Okay.
Yep.
It costs you $5. Great. If it costs you $500, hey, great. As long as it works for you, then by God, go for it.
Exactly. Yep.
That's how. But like I said, if
That-
it works for you, by all means.
Sure.
And don't let people's trash talk change your
Yeah.
mind. Either,
No. Yeah.
because you don't know how many groups on Facebook I've been on, and they're like, "Oh, light, that's garbage, man. That's garbage." I say, "Yeah,
love my light, man.
man, I tell you what,
God, I love that thing.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. People, well, that's because you don't use it. Yeah, I conceal carry every day,
Sure.
every day. Okay,
It's-
but there's no
we
holster
don't want
marks
to have
on
to
it.
use it.
Okay, so what? There's no holster marks on it. So what? That doesn't mean that I don't use it every day.
Right.
I conceal carry every day. Whenever I go to the range, I shoot with it as I carry. Why would I take a gun out there to the range that I don't carry?
Right.
Train with. If I'm going to train, I'm going to use the gun that I carry. That's 9 times out of 10. That's my 19.
Yep.
Now do I carry my 21? Absolutely.
I carried my 20. Yeah.
Now I have carried the 21 concealed, but it was like cold as hell outside, and I could put some thick clothes on it. You couldn't see it running.
Yeah, they're big guns. Yeah.
Oh, it's a pig slayer, that's for sure.
Yep.
And
Well, good. That's awesome, man. So, and later on we'll touch more on sites. Maybe as we do a product reveal and I get my sites in and stuff like that. But that was the tech tip for the night. Iron sights over optics. Can you use both? Absolutely. It's just up to you. So that's awesome. Good stuff right there. So with that being said, we covered a lot.
Yes, sir.
Amalaki is a new product by Zilis. Go check it out at zilis.com/relief for troops.
Mm-hmm.
You can also go to, you can follow us on relieffortroops.org. Check out our charity webpage, become an ambassador, help your fellow soldiers out. And then we talked some racing, got some racing stuff in there, threw a little NASCAR stuff up in there. And one of my favorites is the decking out of the handguns on the site. So good stuff tonight, man. Good stuff tonight.
Right on, man. Hey, and don't forget now, if you are a concealed handgun person, that you have a concealed carry or an LTC or concealed carry, whatever state you're in, whatever they call it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do yourself a favor. This is going to be my parting gift for the evening. Do yourself a favor. Go visit these guys right here.
USCCA.
Huge, 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 huge benefit. I
Yep.
carry my stuff every day.
Yeah. Have to.
Okay. And I'm going to tell you, there's another guy. I want to say his channel is called Instructor Mike. I think that's what his channel is called. He's a gentleman out of Chicago. Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he's a police officer. I think he's either a police officer or like a really high end security dude, something like that. But the man knows his firearm stuff inside, outside, backward, and forward. And I first got my concealed carry. I was like, you know what? I've got to carry this with me everywhere. So I always had it in my wallet.
Mm-hmm.
I always had it in my wallet. But then I watched one of his episodes and I was like, wow, that makes 110% total sense. So if you're watching, Mike, you're the man, and I appreciate you for that little tip. But if you're in your car, you got your hands at 10 and 2, gentleman walks up to your car, keep your hands on that steering wheel and talk to him. Talk to that police officer. Keep your hands up and talk to him. Don't make any sudden movements because I'm guaranteeing you, he's already ran your plate. I know this for a fact. He's already ran your plate, and he's going to know if you're a concealed carry handgun owner or not. Mm-hmm. Okay. So when he comes up to your truck, your hands should be at 10 and 2. Okay. And he's going to ask you, do you have your weapon in the vehicle? Yes, yep. I do. It's right, such and such. With my hands still on the steering wheel, I'm telling him where my handgun is. Would you like to come in and get it, or would you like me to step out so you can get it? So that you feel safe. Okay, blah, 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 blah. They're going to ask you to see your permit. Now, your hands are at 10 and 2. Your handgun's either on my dash, like it on mine's like up under my dash right there. Mm-hmm. Or sometimes I'll open carry and I'll have it here. Okay. But if my hands are here and he says, hey, let me see your permit. Yeah, there's a firearm in my truck. And I go like this.
Yep. And then you're asking for trouble.
Boom!
Yep.
So do it like this. I'm going to grab it's around my neck, just like he does. Mm-hmm. Grab the chain. There it is. Take it off and hand it to him. Put your hands back at 10 and 2.
Yep.
It's that simple.
Yep.
It'll save you from getting shot, and now it's like everybody has an EDC thing that they use, What do you carry? What do you carry every day? I carry a Glock 19. I carry my little SOG tool. I have actually 2 SOG tools that I have. Or I have one Gerber tool and a SOG tool. And, I have my Glock 19, extra mags, and I have my extra things like my breakdown tools, things like that, my Smith & Wesson pocket knife, all these things. I put this in when I get at night, all that stuff gets set right there on my nightstand.
Yeah.
My gun, my knife, all my EDC stuff gets set right there, my wallet, everything. And then I take that off, wrap the chain around it, it's right on top. That way, when I get ready to go in the morning, grab my wallet and my card, throw it around my neck, put my wallet in my pocket, grab my gun, my knife, away I go. Okay. So Just a little quick tip. If you're going to be a licensed to carry person and you're pro second,
USCCA, get you some.
Get you some USCCA and get you your, when you get your card, get you one of them little neck lanyard things and stick it in there. Yep. I'm telling you, it could mean life and death.
Absolutely.
That cop could have a bad day and somebody, maybe he just got done with a firefight, 2 hours ago or something crazy. It could just be a bad day, and don't give somebody the foothold or the reason to do something that you're not gonna be able to take back. So if it just takes me to go out and spend $10 on a little neck thing, with a dog tag chain, whenever I carry my gun, it's on me, which is every day. It's on me, that way I get pulled over, boom, here it is. Or even if I'm out and about, like if you're at a festival, like you were at that time, and you're at the festival, what if that cop says, hey, can I see your permit? It's around my neck. Can I grab it? Sure. That way I'm not even going looking for my wallet because I'm a righty. My back pocket, my wallet is on my right hand side. My gun's on my right hand side. That cop's not going to know if I'm going for my gun or my wallet. Okay.
Right. Yep.
Play safe.
So,
That's your.
be
That's
smart. Yeah, train, be smart, USCCA and USCCA.com. Yeah, go get Smartified, man.
Get you
Go get some
smart.
lessons.
That's right. And the training you get from USC ACA is amazing. And
Yep.
any upcoming events before we leave? Any upcoming events?
September 28th, Slinging for the Vets. We're going to start putting the flyers out here next couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And August 24th, we're back out at the racetrack. Land will be racing. I'll be announcing. And then we're waiting for the hammers to come in for the monsters. So
right on, baby.
We're getting close. So
Cool.
outside of that, that's all I got for tonight, my friend.
Yeah, brother, we're green. So again, man, you're thinking about hurting yourself. Right there it is. 988.
988 option one.
Option one. Email gearheadsandguardians@gmail.com. You know, say hey 6, say Nitro, I need a hand or something, whatever, and we'll try to get you pointed in the right direction. We won't let you hang. I tell you
Absolutely
that.
Not.
We won't let you hang. We'll be there to help as much as possible. So, Nitro, was a wonderful evening. God bless
It's
you.
great to see you, Rocco. Yes,
right on,
man, it was good stuff.
I gotta head out to the store now. It's 8:11.
I got a pack for a trip. We're going out of town. We're going to go racing some sprint cars and down at Vado Speedway Park Saturday night. Go to racingdirt.com, Vado Speedway Park. Just buy yourself a pit pass, watch it, enjoy.
Way cool,
and,
man.
I'll do some videos. We'll make sure we get them up to you guys.
Outstanding. That'd be awesome. Can't wait to see him.
Yeah,
so, man. Again, Nitro, is always a pleasure to see you, brother.
Always a pleasure, my brother.
You know, we talk almost every day, but it never gets old.
Never gets old.
God bless you, man. You take care of yourself, brother. You tell Miss Jen I said hi.
I will do that. Take care. Everybody out there, have a good night. Stay safe.
We'll see y'all. Shoot straight, go fast, and stay safe.
Have a good night.
Out here.